is in two ways, for God and heaven's sake. Protest without possession, it's the protest that the people organize at PURA. That is where they were arrested. It's in a public place. Let's assemble. That is our fundamental human right, to assemble as Gambians. Let's assemble and say out our frustrations. That is why they were there. They were not in possession. In possession means if you the Public Order Act will say if you are seeking permit to protest, that is to say you are going to be in possession. Like the last GALA protest when we marched from Iceman to the youth monument. We were in possession with the musical set. We were moving, we were obstructing traffic. Inside PURA, you want to tell me that people are going to obstruct traffic? Inside PURA, inside their building, it's a public place. For God and heaven's sake, that the government should revisit the Public Order Act. Protest, it's part of the fundamental pillars that strengthens democracy in Africa. Protest, it's part of those fundamental pillars. So if you want to suppress masses from protesting, they are going to agitate and they will protest. You will arrest them, but they will never stop. You can kill, arrest, torture a revolutionary, but you can never kill, arrest, or torture a revolutionary. I went to Kotu police station. On Friday, I was not out. I was out of town. But when I came, I make sure that I taught the whole cell. You go to Kotu on Friday evening, 11 of them, 11 grown men were trapped in a 2 by 2 centimeter cell in the 24th century. How can you even survive in that 2 by 2? That is a tamperment of their fundamental human rights. They tampered with their fundamental human rights. Yes, okay, you can keep them in custody, but they have the right to enjoy the ventilation. They have the right to enjoy the air to survive, for God and heaven's sake.
And how do you feel seeing them in that condition?
I feel terrified. And I said to myself, is this the country that we want to see our children grow into? That is the question that every government should ask yourself. Is this the question? Is this the government or the country that I want my people to see in the next future? We all want to give birth, for God and heaven's sake. We want to be family men. But we don't want our kids to ask us the same questions that our fathers cannot answer. You ask your father, what have you done? What have you done to make sure that you remedy the situation? They cannot tell you. We don't want the question to be arised again. Because they do not commit any crime, like I said. They do not commit any crime. They are free and they are lawfully and unlawfully arrested. They lawfully assembled and then they were unlawfully arrested. So that is why if you are to bail me, you are not telling me I am bailing you because you commit this crime. I do not commit any crime. That is why we want the bail to be unconditional. We want the bail unconditional. You think if the state have interest, they are going to grant the bail? They will not. They know that they are not standing on any grounds. What they want to do is to make sure that the people are silent before 2026 elections. And I want to put this across to all Gambians. 2026 elections is an elections for Gambia to design its future. The country has not been on any foundation since independence. Since 1965, Uncle Mahdi will argue 1970. We have not been standing on any foundation. Take an example, foundation at the end of the day, what is going to happen? Banco at 60. Let's imagine. People that are at our homes and they are at 60 years old now. How are they living? They are old men. Some of them are dead. Some of them cannot do anything on their own. But what is going to happen? The country is at 60. We are still talking about Public Order Act in the 21st century. And we said we are 60 years old. We really have to revisit and architect our destiny. So the future of this country relies solely on the hands of the youth. Let them not tell you that you are the future. You are not the future. You are the now. If you allow them to say you are the future, they are going to wait until you are 60 years old. Until if you are 60 years old, they want to give you power. You will die in power.
So as we anticipate the court verdict, what is the way forward?
Like I said the last time I had an interview, I think I have it here, that the court, it's now going to decide on our fate. Whether we are all going to go to mile 2 to be reminded with the boys, or they are going to let them be. And PURA must revisit. It's not like they suit. They must. If you are hearing me, PURA, you must revisit that tariff. For God and heaven's sake, my grandmother in the village cannot afford that data. What are you trying to tell me? She does not have the right to browse? She does not have the right to know what is in the internet? What are you trying to say? $500 is for, I don't know, 10 gigabytes for 14 days. $500 is how many of you? How much are you paid as a civil servant?
As a civil servant, in fact, some of them that are pushing us, I've been receiving 4,000.
4,000, 3,000, 2,000. Okay, every 14 days you have to buy a data of $500. How much are you going to be left with? You have a family to feed. You have to buy rice. You have children that are going to school. You have siblings that solely depends on you. What is the future? That is why poverty becomes the order of the day. That is why corruption is not going to end as far as those things are not addressed. That is why the police officers themselves will continuously keep on collecting bribes. Keep on collecting bribes on the way. That is because them themselves, you can say from the online media that when they were arrested, some of the police officers were in PURA enjoying their free data, free Wi-Fi. What are you trying to put across? That I cannot even afford that data. So that is what should be revisited. That the country is in a very fragile state. That the country is in a very serious condition. The country is about to doom. And as the youth, please, it is your right to make sure that this country do not doom. If the country dooms, your future dooms, your family dooms, the society dooms, everybody, your loved ones will doom. And I am sure I am not ready to sacrifice myself, my family, for this country to be doomed. If I am going to be the sacrificial lamb for this country to go ahead, who am I to say no? Who am I to say no? I will obviously be the sacrificial lamb to make sure that the country realize its full-fledged independence. Independence without economic independence, it's meaningless. We cannot solely rely on loans and grants for our sustainable. It is not sustainable. We cannot rely on them. 75 of our tax or 75 of our budget are supported by the international community. They dictate you. He who pulls the pipe will dictate the tune. If I am a pipe player, I will play it and I will want the pipe to play the tune that I want it to play. So that is what is happening in this country. That is why all these nonsenses are happening, and they are nonsense, they are impunity. We are not going to arrest them. People, power.